want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution, where I talk about everything crypto daily. Before we jump into this video, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been hitting that like button. I'm trying to get a like spike going right now. 1,000 likes a video. That's the goal. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'm going to keep you up to date on everything technical analysis related, news, fundamentals as well. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Jumping right into the market today in crypto. Green day. Overall market cap of cryptocurrency, $295 billion. Bitcoin above 10,000. I've got a cryptocurrency trading group. I've got 6 chat groups where everybody's calling out breakouts, posting charts, working together to trade this market. I've got 41 videos in a playlist. If you don't know anything about trading this market, nothing about trading at all, you can watch these videos. You'll be making profitable trades. Number one reason why people join the group, they want to make a bunch of money in this market. They want to be in the right coins, and I can ensure that you're in the right coins. This is Tezos up 181%. Majority of the people in the group are busy. They don't have time to day trade. They just want to be in the right coins and ride it out. Now, there is some resistance up here at about $3.55. Tezos needs to break above here. Otherwise, you're looking at a triple top, potentially some downside. So again, you're keeping an eye on this resistance level for Tezos. If you do want to join the cryptocurrency trading group, you want to pay in crypto, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. I'll get you set up and in the group today. If you pay with cryptocurrency for 6 months, you get a 20% discount. If you pay in crypto for the year, you get a 30% discount and an additional month for free. If you do want to pay with a card month to month, you can do so. There's a Patreon link in the description. Here's another one. Mana BTC up 118%. Huge run up for Mana. These are a couple of comments from the trading group. This person stated, "Thank you. I'm in the net green after massive losses in previous years." And that's what it's all about. If something you're doing, anything you're doing in life is not working, potentially it's time to make a change. Another person stated, "Hey Chris, I'm having a great 2020 with your group. My Binance total is up over $16,000 in a 5-week stretch." You can see he jumped from $39,000 to $55,000 as far as portfolio goes on Binance. This is from yesterday. You guys might remember this. Now we do have a bullish scenario here. This orange falling wedge is a bullish reversal pattern. 68% chance that it does break out to the upside. This is the pattern down here, this triangle pattern on the RSI that we're looking at. So again, a break higher here and everything changes. And so this is very important to watch this 9,700 level. Boom, man, everything changes. 9,700, breakout to the upside of this falling wedge. Falling wedges are bullish reversal patterns. 68% chance of a break higher. Now, Bitcoin's trying to essentially form a bull flag up here. Now it needs to hold this level. Okay, so you previously had a bearish MACD cross and then we flipped bullish again. Now the RSI it's pretty overbought right now. So to think that we see some type of a pullback or we need to consolidate into this flags and pennants are a great way to let these indicators reset and cool off. One thing that you have to consider is the potential head and shoulders pattern here. And we had a discussion about this in the trading group and somebody said, well, you don't really want to, look at these downside patterns. And it's not so much like, hey, you're going to make a trade based on this, because obviously there's a lot that has to play out, but you have to recognize the possibilities. If this didn't exist at all, then we wouldn't be talking about it. But because it's more than 2/3 completed, we potentially have to discuss that, hey, this could be a top for Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but what we have to see now is we need a higher high here. So the bulls need to put in a high up here that's higher than this previous high. Okay, that is going to invalidate this bearish idea, because we're still working with, you've got a downside target right now that's still valid until it's invalidated of around 9,000. Okay, because that's the break to the downside of this falling wedge, which is basically where this all started, right? Broke to the downside, then rising wedge. And so potentially this up here would invalidate all of this. It would break back into this rising wedge. it would invalidate because this shoulder would be higher than the last shoulder. So there's a lot of things going on. You have to consider all these ideas when trading this market. This is the daily chart. And again, you can see the same idea here. You got this overhead resistance up here at about 10,450, right? We need to break above here. We need to break above here. Okay, we got the golden cross. That's been confirmed. Now you still have this bearish MACD cross. You did get a tick to the upside of the MACD, so they're starting to converge. MACD is a lagging indicator, so it's based on moving averages. Moving averages are an average of previous price history. So essentially the price leads the indicator here. Okay, so this is what we're watching for Bitcoin. Now we break above here, again, 10,500, everything changes. Moon mission, moon boots, but you have to stay grounded. Speaking of moon boots, look who's got a pair. Look at these guys, black. These guys right here. Are you ready? You guys got to make sure moon boots on standby, okay? Because I'm telling you, the next 18 months in crypto, you'll need probably a couple pairs daily wear for crypto trading. All right, here's what I want to make sure you guys understand. So this is a run up previously, like when Bitcoin was like $300 or $400. And you can see you get this stair-stepped approach, right? Constantly you get a series of higher highs and higher lows, uptrend. Well, as soon as you put in, so here's your high. If this next high we're looking at turns out to be this high, which is this high is lower than this high, right? That's bearish. Well, because the bulls couldn't push the price up higher than the last high. So this resistance level comes into play. Now this potential downside is probably a little bit severe, but you have to consider that the first sign of a change in the trend would be this lower high. So again, just planting the seed. If it happens, consider this idea. Now, the gap, boys, filling the gap. That's what it's all about. So there's a CME gap up here. Looks like we filled it. You got a small CME gap at about 8,500. Some people would argue that potentially that's not super valid, but here it is, small gap at 8,500 on the CME. And there's a CME gap at $11,700. Now, we've talked at length about this multi-month downtrend for Bitcoin. Essentially, this falling wedge right here, okay? We've seen it. We've talked about it for many, many months. The upside target of this falling wedge is $12,000, which shows confluence. Confluence is like indicators, ideas that agree with each other across different charts or patterns or ideas, okay? So 12,000 would fill this gap and be the target of the multi-month downtrend falling wedge. If we do get a pullback, if we do, it doesn't necessarily invalidate this idea unless we break back down into the falling wedge. So all of this that I'm explaining to you, I'll keep you up to date daily on these subjects. Subscribe to the channel. The golden cross is here. The last time this happened, Bitcoin price surged 165% in 2 months. 165% gains in 2 months. Life-changing money. Okay, so here's essentially the chart that shows it. So here you got your golden cross. Bitcoin ran up from about 5,000 to close to $14,000. Now it also retraced before this death cross. But then we got the death cross back here when Bitcoin was about 9,000, ran down to like 6,500. Here we go again. Back to here. Pew! Moon mission. Moon boots. Now this doesn't, let's be realistic. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be instantaneous. A pullback could potentially happen on the shorter time frames. This is a very, very bullish long-term signal for the market. Be ready. But what we don't want to see is this previous kind of fake out, if you call it. And so what this is referring to right here, where you got your golden cross and immediately you got a death cross and then a golden cross again. So you got a little bit of a fake out period. But in the end, long-term approach, zoom out, long-term approach, if you're a holder, everything's golden. Now, if you're a trader, you got to watch these charts a lot more. If you're a midterm holder, relax. Spend time with your family, make money, be be happy. So again, this idea of the fake out was essentially right here, where you got the golden cross and then the pullback, and then the death cross happened afterwards. So again, this is out there. It's on the table. We know about it. We talked about it. Here we are. If you guys haven't chosen a VPN yet, PureVPN, I use this every single day. Anytime I work with anything crypto, I make sure it's turned on for security reasons. If you want to use Binance.com and trade all the little altcoins that we all know and love, you want to use PureVPN. You can use BitMEX, Bybit. There's a 70% discount. If you wait, you'll get an 85% discount pop-up that happens. So the link is in the description, does support the channel. Trump's proposed budget snubs blockchain crypto in the crosshairs of the security service. We talked about this a little bit the other day, but just to kind of expand on this idea, the White House is proposing to bring the U.S. Secret Service, the agency tasked with both protecting the nation's leaders as well as safeguarding its financial payment system, which has been part of the Department of Homeland Security since 2003. They want to potentially bring it back to its traditional home, the Treasury Department. So there's a $4.8 trillion plan that stipulates $15.7 billion in base funding for Treasury programs, including $2.4 billion set aside for the Secret Service. I think they smell some tax money. Donald Trump smells some tax money. So the idea is they want to streamline the Treasury's operations, bolster the Treasury's national security and law enforcement capacity, enhance, quote unquote, enhance the taxpayer experience. Listen, what are they going to enhance about it? They're going to make sure more people pay more taxes and lower the deficit. Ding, ding, ding. That's the winner. And that's the truth behind it. They want to lower the deficit because they want to collect more taxes. They want to tax us in crypto. Everybody's happy. There's going to be more requirements to come. The United States Secret Service original mission, when it was founded in 1865, was targeted to combat counterfeiting of the United States dollar. And it formally remains the only office explicitly tasked with the protection of the national currency. So the idea here is they're going to have a mission to essentially stop electronic financial crimes. And I'm sure there'll be a broad idea of just monitoring what's going on in the cryptocurrency space so they can get their cha-ching taxes collected. The IRS is inviting crypto firms to a summit in DC next month. So the Internal Revenue Service has invited a number of undisclosed crypto startups to a summit on March the 3rd to discuss its existing approach to taxing cryptocurrencies as well as enforcement efforts, according to a copy of the invitation that was obtained by CoinDesk. So they want to address technology, issues faced by exchanges, tax returns, and regulatory compliance. The IRS is going to use this as an opportunity to learn from participants in the ecosystem, but it may help inform the IRS's thinking as well. This person stating that compliance with existing regulation and guidance is one of the areas the agency is focused on. What's interesting about this article is it stated that the IRS has declined the adoption of several recommendations to clarify its existing guidelines concerning taxing cryptocurrencies. The IRS, you can tell they're in a stage where they want to learn more. Obviously, Donald Trump, the Secret Service, they want to do the same. They're trying to, this is not going to be something easy to tax. It's difficult for us to deal with. It's difficult for a CPA who has no idea. Like most of the CPAs around me that I've talked to have no idea what cryptocurrency is. Like, how can you pay proper taxes on it? How can they potentially tax it accordingly? So there's a lot of things that are going to become more clear over the coming months, and I'll keep you up to date on these ideas. Is Bloomberg looking to take Yang's spot as the crypto-friendly candidate? So former New York mayor and present-day presidential candidate Mike Bloomberg seems to be snuggling up to the crypto community. The billionaire Bloomberg is trying to win some of his own crypto attention. Here's the proposed crypto regulatory framework from his financial reform policy, and this is pretty insightful. So he basically went on to state that cryptocurrencies have become an asset class worth hundreds of billions of dollars, yet regulatory oversight remains fragmented and underdeveloped. For all the promise of the blockchain, Bitcoin initial coin offerings, there's plenty of hype, lots of fraud, and criminal activity. He wants to clarify responsibility for overseeing cryptocurrencies, provide a framework for initial coin offerings by defining when tokens are and are not securities, protecting consumers from cryptocurrency-related fraud, huge ordeal, clarifying how investments in cryptocurrencies will be taxed. It's coming. A lot of clarity. We need this. Defining capital and other requirements for financial institutions holding cryptocurrencies. Seems like there's just a ton of fly-by-night operations popping up all over cryptocurrency, and I think some regulation, some loose guidelines would definitely help the space. Enjin launches on Ethereum, brings crypto to gaming. They're taking tokenization to the forefront of gaming. Amazing use case here. Crypto is going to dominate this gaming space. The Enjin platform will enable developers to integrate cryptocurrencies to all kinds of apps and games without having to write blockchain code. ENJ was up quite a bit today, so that was good to see for ENJ. Surge in crypto trading activity overloaded Binance last week. Well, apparently it wasn't just last week. I had somebody in my crypto group hit me up and they said, hey, this is Tether on Binance. I was trying to borrow some USDT, and currently there's a lack of loanable assets in this currency. Everybody's borrowing crypto. Everybody. He's like, I was trying to borrow about 2 G's, not very much, but they just didn't have any. He wished he didn't pay it back. Everybody's like, the borrow. Obviously, you know, when you're trading with leverage on margin, this is where you're borrowing for your trades. This is a roadmap of Neo 3.0, and so they've got some, you know, big news on the horizon as far as the first quarter and second quarter. So again, I'm just planting a seed. Hey, going to be a hype. There's going to be a new mainnet launch run up, and this is, you know, potentially some months away, but there is a nice double bottom on the Neo chart. Now, if the important thing to remember is if Bitcoin does pull back, you're going to get better entries on your USDT trading pairs as far as like these midterm, long-term hold ideas. Okay, so that's kind of the intangible. I just got off a phone with a gentleman, and he says, well, you know, when should I buy and what should I buy? Well, you know, you have to remember, it's like, if this happens, then buy here. If this happens, then buy here. It's not. This was an EOS idea that I talked to you guys about. Yes, I had some people in the group that had some amazing gains recently because they were pulling the fibs. Right now, it's at the 0.382 fib level. Now, you're going to get bounces right around in here. Okay, you're going to get a bounce. Now, then you pair that. There's some support down here at about $4. So $4.15, $4. Boom. Here you go. $4.15. Let's just make sure it's lined up right. Boom. And the bounce for EOS. So again, not huge gains, but I mean, you bought in at $4.15. It's at $4.60. I mean, that's respectable. I just posted this chart. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks so much. I will see you guys tomorrow.